You're listening to Golden Hour Drip with Logan Lee Miller, a lifestyle podcast dedicated to sharing the ins and outs of her everyday life. Kicking opinions to the curb, this Western-inspired creator redefines what it means to be your own Golden Hour. Welcome to Golden Hour Drip.
Let's get rowdy. Hello everyone and welcome back to Golden Hour Drip. Thank you for joining me in today's episode, New Year, New Mojo. My name is Logan, the founder and blog host of Golden Hour Drip, and it is a wonderful Monday. It's so crazy. This is the last Monday of the year 2020. Next Monday, we will be in 2021, and oh my gosh, I did not realize how quick the new year was coming up. It is absolutely insane how fast this year has gone, but at the same time it's just been so slow as well. And so it's crazy. It's crazy to think on how much I've accomplished this year, and I'm very, very proud of everything that I've done. But you know, with everything going on, I did have a sense of feeling a little bit lost. And that probably would have came without the pandemic, just with, you know, graduating college and trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my my degree, what my goals were moving forward, and I had to almost re-find myself, and I'm still trying to find out who I am and what I want to do. And I would say that, you know, it's an evolution, you know, like I'm going to continue growing and there's going to be more and more that I'm going to want to do and try. But what is really, you know, hitting me is like just trying to find myself. And I felt like part of myself in June, the entire June and part of July, I just felt like I didn't feel like Logan. I didn't feel like myself. And then I got to asking myself, like, well, who am I? What am I supposed to be feeling like? What am I supposed to be doing? And what would I, you know, like that to look like for myself? And so it was a defining year for myself, 2020. I mean, I launched the podcast, I graduated, I got married. So many different things happened in my life. It was a big year for me. And I'm proud of how I've stretched, how I've grown, and how I have just moved forward. And this upcoming year and this episode is all about refinding your mojo. And it just makes me laugh. It makes me think of an Austin Powers movie, right? If you've ever seen him, he's British, I think. He's like from the 60s. He says, "Yeah, baby," and all sorts of things. And he is just a hoot and holler. And I remember watching, like, binge to him last January, I think. But I love everything about Austin Powers. I love his energy. This is more sexual energy, of course, but he is just always, you know, going no matter what anybody says about him or what, you know, Dr. Evil is trying to do to like put those barriers in his path. Like, he's gonna just like keep going, and he knows that he is Austin Powers. And so like I'm just taking that, and I want to focus this episode on, of course, the new year and resolutions. It seems like everyone right now is just gonna be like pounding, okay, like it's a new year, new me. But like I absolutely don't like resolutions at all, and later in the episode I will tell you why I don't like resolutions. Does not mean that I don't like growing and I don't like stretching, but we will get into that later in the episode. But I just want to focus this right now, the last Monday of the entire year. I'm going to focus it on finding my mojo, finding my rhythm, and just getting started for the next year. But before that, let's get into the Monday roundup. All right, so the good. Obviously, it was Christmas. I hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas. If you celebrate Christmas, if you celebrate any of the other holidays, I hope that you just had a great time with your family and friends and just really enjoyed that downtime. And, Christmas is always so special to me. I think Thanksgiving to Christmas, is just filled with love and family. And so I always appreciate that. That's so good to me, so good to my heart. And it's something that I absolutely cherish. And so with Christmas comes Christmas presents. And this year I was pretty proud of the presents that I gifted. And I wanted to share with you guys just because I want to give myself like a little pat on the back. I do pride myself in being a good gift giver. And I think it's really important, the thoughtfulness that goes like behind a present instead of just like finding whatever. I mentioned with Adriana's mug, I have it right here actually, but I love this mug. It was probably like $3, $5, $10 maybe, and I love it. I absolutely do. It says Farm Fresh, it says Christmas trees. It's cute. I love it. So thoughtful. Love this gift, and it probably didn't cost Adriana all that much money, but it was still like the thoughtfulness of, hey, like I'm gonna give Logan a Christmas present, and I love that, and I'm so thankful for her and her friendship. But I love this mug, and so I do want to brag a little bit about a couple of the gifts that I gave, and they're to my parents. So the first gift, me and my siblings got together. Caitlin was so good. My sister, she is a month and 11 days younger than I am. We are stepsisters. I know some people kind of get a little confused. I'm like, oh, like were you twins, whatever. But Caitlin, she put us all in a group chat. She's like, what are we getting the parents for Christmas? And I was like, oh, Caitlin, I'm so glad that you like put this in there. And we're like, well, we can't get them a trip because everywhere is closed down. And I had remembered, whatever. My mom harped on me and asked for this. She wanted a table. So right now, like at my recording studio, I have like a desk that holds my computer, my speaker, everything. It's beautiful. I cannot remember what type of wood it is. Elderwood? I was an agronomist, not a forester person, whatever. Anyways, Garrett made this table. Garrett made a table that I have in my living room as well, and that is cherry, I believe. I love that table so much. Actually, we didn't plan on keeping the table that I have my laptop on, but it just works so well for my recording studio, and when we move, like I will probably switch desks, but for now, like I get to keep this. But mom was like, oh, Garrett has made all these cute tables, I want a table. And she kept saying it, and originally she wanted a huge dining room table. And huge dining room tables, because these are all solid slabs of wood. They have a live edge on the side, very beautiful, super soft, super smooth on the top. But she said that she wanted like a kitchen table or a dining room table that's absolutely huge. Well, me and my siblings do not have enough money. I mean, that would cost thousands of dollars just for the wood alone. But we could do a table for her living room. So Garrett, it was a beautiful piece of, oh shoot, it's not mahogany, it's the other one. It smells so good. Ah shoot, I cannot think of it, but it's this beautiful piece of wood, and I made a TikTok about it, so go check out Logan Lee Miller TikTok on the process that he did to build it. Absolutely beautiful. It's stunning. But the parents were so excited to have that, and we sneaked it in. It was so funny because wood, like finished wood, it's not great for it to get super cold, and we traveled to Iowa, and so when we got there, I was like, what are we gonna do, Garrett? Because we had it in pieces. We had the solid wood, and then we had the legs that we needed to screw on later. But it wasn't like that we could bring this table in the house. They would automatically know, and my siblings weren't doing the exchange until the next day. So we were like kind of scrambling. We were like, what are we gonna do? So we left the car running for like 2 hours until they went to bed. Then we got the table out, we put it together, we put it over an ottoman, put our stuff on it, put a blanket. Totally unrecognizable. I could not tell if mom had walked into the room that we were sleeping in, and we were able to gift it to them. So that was just like so exciting. It made me happy to do something for my mom and stepdad, and it was also a pretty neat table, and I'm just so happy that my siblings were all able to come together and just gift my parents something that they absolutely deserve, and something that is pretty to look at and that they can always remember us by. Not that we're ever gonna, hopefully knock on this wood, not necessarily remember us by, but every time that they like pass by it, think, oh, my kids are so nice. My kids are so sweet. I love my kids. Okay, speaking of which, we're gonna go on to my favorite, and my favorite actually was gifted to me as a Christmas present. Now, I talked about in recent podcasts that I love the Way shampoo and conditioner that I got when I went to Kentucky. I picked out a new shampoo since I was running low. I was completely out, and I was like, you know what, like, I'm gonna try it. I did some research. Way is concentrated shampoo. It smells great, and it was for, thinner hair, not super thick, and it has just added so much airiness to my hair because it's not weighed down by that heavy conditioner. But when I was buying the shampoo, I bought this little tiny teeny travel spray of the Way Wave spray. And so I loved it. It smelled great. It actually brings my hair does not look as fluffy today because I did work out this morning and I showered 2 days ago. But it just adds so much waviness, and I've never put any sort of curling cream in my hair. My hair is that natural wave, beachy wave. I don't really need to do anything for it, but this spray, when I use it, is absolutely so good. We do Secret Santa with our siblings, and my brother-in-law Michael actually bought me the regular size, and the travel size was like $12, and it's so little, and I think it was like 2 ounces or whatever, and this Wave spray is 4.9 fluid ounces, and I'm pretty sure this is like $28. But I love it. It smells so good. Like, seriously, smells so good. I love putting it in my hair, and it just helps so much. It's a weightless texture mist for, oh my gosh, a weightless texture mist for effortless, chic, undone hair, infused with rice protein to add hold and memory for that just got out of the ocean and my hair dried perfectly look. So true. I love the descriptions on the Way, and it's spelled O-U-A-I. O-U-A-I. So I'm pretty sure it's pronounced wave. Or Way. I don't know, honestly, but if you know how to pronounce it, let me know, send me a DM. But this stuff just holds your hair so well, and I like that undone look. I like not having to put a lot of effort into my hair because I am not doing heat tools. I haven't done heat tools for a while, only on very, very special occasions while I curl my hair. And so having a weightless spray that I can just spritz on and like go, I love that, and I'm so thankful, and thank you, Michael, for a wonderful Christmas gift. And then a funny, okay, so again, Christmas related. It's Christmas, my guys. Okay, so my niece Marcella, she is such a character, I guess is what you could say. She's the sweetest girl ever. Her birthday was May 13th, that's Garrett's birthday, December 13th, and she just turned 3. So she is just like a crazy toddler running around, but we're opening Christmas gifts on Saturday with my sister and brother-in-law, and Marcella is opening her gifts. And I don't know if anybody knows this, but Garrett is not super, like, he isn't like me in the sense where I love children. I want to hold the children, hold the child, hold the baby, whatever. I love them. I love kids. I love interacting with them. Garrett could care less. He thinks children are okay, and he says, like, hopefully he'll love his own, but he's just not very, children loving, I guess. That sounds terrible, but he just like doesn't see the hype, I guess. They're just people, right? And Marcella is so cute, and without prompting, like, Marcella has always remembered Uncle Garrett. Like, when she started talking, like, for me, I'm like, what's my name? What's my name? And for mom, she's like, what's my name? Me. You know, like, you want children to know your name. You want to be someone in that child's life where they remember you. And Garrett has never done that. He's never like had to be like, I'm Uncle Garrett. But Marcella, like, she knows Uncle Garrett, and it was absolutely so cute. And last time we saw her, which I guess was during my wedding, maybe. No, it was Thanksgiving. She said that Uncle Garrett was ugly and her Uncle David was pretty, and then switched and said Uncle David was ugly and Uncle Garrett was cute. But besides the fact, every time she would open a gift, she would walk over to Garrett and say, Uncle Garrett, look, how cool. And it was just so sweet. And I was like, oh, how adorable. And it was every time. And it was so funny because, like, Garrett isn't wanting that attention from Marcella. He could literally care less if Marcella gives him that attention, but it was so cute because she was like, Uncle Garrett, look. And like one of the times she got cookies and she's like, look, and Garrett's like, oh, those are my favorite cookies. And she's like, nope. And she kept like, as soon as she would show him, she would be like, done, and like take the present away. So that was really cute. And she was also giving lots of raspberries. So she like blew on my cheek, and like, she's such a hoot. I love her so much, and I'm excited for my nephew that is due in January. Should be the end of January, like 28th, 25th. We are all betting that he comes early. His name is Malcolm. We're hoping that he comes early. I put my bet in that he'll be early. He'll be born on the like 20th or something like that, and that he'll weigh 8 pounds. No. I said he'll weigh 9 pounds, 6 ounces. I think he's going to be a big baby. So quote that, write that down. But, you know, Marcella is so cute when she talks to baby Malcolm in my sister's belly. Very cute. Love it. Love kids. Okay. That is the Monday roundup. That is my good, my favorite, and my funny. I am going to continue this in the upcoming year. I know when I first started my podcast, I had the good, the bad, and the favorite, and we have swapped that to the good, a favorite, and a funny. I think this might evolve, it might change, but right now I'm really happy with just being able to share with you guys what's going on, what's happening, and just give you like a little warm up to the episode. Let me know if you like the good, the favorite, and the funny, and a review. Please leave me a review. I absolutely love seeing your feedback and just how I can improve on my episodes, especially coming into the new year and going forward with Golden Hour Drip. All right, so the episode, New Year, New Mojo. Like I said before, I was kind of lost graduating. I didn't exactly know what I wanted to do or where I wanted to go forward. And it was kind of an area where I was like, oh my gosh, like, how am I going to improve this? And so I just, said to myself, I'm going to start working slowly. I'm going to work on the goals that I have now, and I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to keep trying to improve, keep trying to work on myself, and try to find my path on what I'm supposed to be doing in this life. And so I kind of had a restart for myself in July, and I started working on, because that is half of the year. So July to December, I've just slowly been working out my goals and doing my best. And today, Monday, I posted, an extra post on Instagram. It wasn't like my drip drop. It was something else, and it had 2 photos on it. It had me while I was relaxing back in November, and I'm sitting by the couch and I have a fire and I'm relaxing, and the other one, I'm on the road, I'm walking around, and it said, Monday, are you relaxing or are you running towards it? And I think, Monday, New Year's is on a freaking Friday this year. It is not the start of the year. 2020, New Year's Day, like the first day of the year, was a Monday. And this time it's a Friday. So what are you going to do? Are you going to start on your goals today, Monday? It's not the first of the year, but it's the first Monday. And then Friday will be the first of the year. Or are you going to start on Friday? Are you going to start January 1? Fresh start, fresh year. Or Or are you going to wait and lose 3 days and start Monday, January 4th? And I think that's important to kind of separate yourself. And what are you going to be doing? And what are you willing to do for yourself? Because resolutions are one thing. And I said this earlier. I hate resolutions. I don't think that they work. I don't think that they are important. What I do think is important is goals, actual feasible goals. Because what is a resolution? It's almost like just picking something random, something kind of easy, because we want to make sure that we're able to do it, right? And then we have one goal for the entire year, and we're going to accomplish it, and it'll be great, it'll be good. Except for one goal for 365 days, it only takes 22 days to establish a goal. 22 days. What are you going to do with the rest of the days? And resolutions, I'm going to cut out soda. I'm going to stop eating sugar. I'm going to go to the gym. Lots of times this is focused on our health, which is great. We should all be changing our health and all be moving forward. But it comes to a point where you're like, is this actually a feasible thing? Can I accomplish my resolution? And if you can, what are you going to do with the rest of the days? And that's why I like to think about my goals. And I've done this ever since I was a kid. And I didn't realize that I wasn't making resolutions, but I was making goals for myself and I was moving forward. I remember sitting in my childhood bedroom and I was like, it is December 31st. I got to write these goals out and I have got to do it. New Year's is coming and I'm going to write everything I want to accomplish. I've always been the type of person to want to achieve. I'm an achiever. I need to do it. I love it. I'm working on that. I'm working on doing things just for fun too. But I've always wanted to work on goals and not resolutions. Not one resolution. And if done right, resolutions and goals can be the same thing. But I just want to put it in your mind that we are not making resolutions this year. We are making goals and we're going to accomplish those goals. So I just want to break this down for you. I have, 5 different tips that I want to share with you. I'm going to share these. I'm going to talk about them. Then I'm going to talk about how I do my resolutions / goals. And then I'm going to talk to you on how I plan to accomplish those. I've done this in the past. I did it for 2020 and I've accomplished those goals. And, one of them was launching a podcast. I did that. I launched Golden Hour Drip. And it's crazy to me because if I would have waited, if I would have been like, oh, I'll get to it, it wouldn't have been done. And so it's crazy to think what you're doing now can be, fruitful in the future. So the first thing that I like to do and to just get me in the mind frame, this is what I did last year, this is what I plan on doing this year. And that is start with the end in mind. Okay, that can seem dumb. You're like, of course I'm thinking of the end in mind. I want to be 20 pounds lighter. I want to grow my hair out. I want to start meal prepping. I want to take a bus or take travel with other people. What's that called? Oh my gosh. In the van, carpool. I want to carpool more instead of just 6 people burning gas to get to work. Whatever it is, of course you have those goals, but you have to start with the end in mind. How will you feel when you accomplish that goals? How is that going to improve your life? When is the deadline? Because I think a year is too long of a deadline, especially with your goals. And that's why I like to, and we'll get into this, I don't like to set the goals for the year. I like to break them down even further. So I start with the end in mind. July 1, that's 6 months in. What am I going to accomplish 6 months in? Where am I going to feel? How am I going to feel? Where am I going to be in my goal? And maybe July 1 is a gut check. Maybe you start out strong with your goals in January. And you're like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. And then it didn't work out. Totally understandable. It happens to the best of us. Maybe July is going to be your gut check because that is 6 months in, June, you got to get through June and then it's July. Where are you July 1? What have you done the past 6 months? Time is going to pass no matter what. It's what you do with that time that's going to be important. So start with the end in mind. I think about July 1, 6 months in. I think about December 31st. Where do I want to be and what do I look like? Am I happier? Am I stronger, taller, skinnier? Not taller necessarily. I can't really grow. But, where are you for your goals in that regard? Because once you get this time next year, where do you want to be? Do you want to be the same person? Like I talked in the other episode, if you're not changing, you're dying. If you're not growing, you're dying. If you're not doing anything to fuel your desire, fuel your passion, and to move forward, you're going to be at a standstill. And that can be hard because you feel like you've wasted another year. And instead of feeling that way, maybe you didn't accomplish everything that you wanted in 2020. Lots of bad things happened. Lots of agonizing fear, anxiety, a lot of uncertainty, plain laziness. Maybe that's you. Maybe you had such high expectations for yourself and didn't follow through. That's fine. You just need to realize where you're at, be honest with yourself, and then you're able to move forward and accomplish what you need to accomplish and want to accomplish. So even if 2020, you thought it was your year, everyone did. We all did. But even if it wasn't exactly how you planned, at least now we can move forward. Even if 2021 is just as bad as 2020, we're still going to stick to our goals and we're still going to move forward because it's happening to everyone. You're not alone. You are not the only one struggling, which is great because we can find strength in community. But you got to realize, you got to be honest with yourself. Am I making excuses or am I moving forward? So I always like to think about the end in mind. Where am I going to be? Set those deadlines and then move forward. And I have a quote here. There's beauty in knowing the things happening in your present are currently orchestrating your unknown future. So with that being said, you have to get comfortable with daily tasks. You have to get comfortable with just doing the same thing over and over within reason. It's, there's another quote. It's like insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different outcome. And I don't want to do that. So you have to get comfortable with your daily tasks. Like you are just placing bricks. Every single day, you're placing a brick on top of another brick, on top of another brick. And one day, you're going to have a wall. One day, you're going to have 2 sides. And then you're going to have a house. And you're going to have your goal accomplished. So I have my non-negotiables. I have making my bed. I have to make my bed every single day. I have to do it. It's a non-negotiable. I feel so much better when I come home and my bed's made. Or if I have laundry, I can put it on my bed to fold it and put it away. If my bed's unmade, I can't put that laundry on my bed and I can't put the laundry away. Sounds dumb, but that's how it is for me. And so I have to make my bed every single day, even on the weekends. It's the first thing I do after peeing. The next thing, going to the gym. Not necessarily to lose weight, just going to get my body moving, to have those endorphins flowing through my body and to feel good about myself. Affirmations, telling myself that I am good, that I'm working towards my goals, that things are working out for me. I like to say to myself, everything works out perfectly for me. Not to be, like, everything's great. Everything's perfect. I get everything I want. It's more of the things like, even if something doesn't turn out how I expect it to turn out, everything still works perfectly for me. And that's because I know that God has a plan for me and that things might not go the way I want it to go, but I'm slowly building those bricks and I'm going to have a wall. And however it turns out to be, it's gonna be. Everything happens for a reason. And I'm not just doing this just because. So I like repeating that. Everything works out perfectly for me. And you have to say for me. You don't say everything works out perfect. Say everything works out perfectly for me. It's going to change your life. Other affirmations, like I'm kind, I am beautiful, I am strong. There's a study out in that it says if you talk kindly to plants, if you give them like happy music, they grow better. And like, what would happen if we did that for people? What would happen if we gave the same encouragement that we could give a plant to a person? That's absolutely insane, and it blows my mind every single time that I think about it. Because what if we did? What if we talked to humans the way we talk to our dog? Like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy to see you. You're amazing. I love you. And all that dog did today was lay on the freaking floor. People are trying way harder than that dog. They're doing everything in their power to have a good day and to move forward with their life. And so I think that affirmations are good for ourselves, but we should also give other people affirmations. Fill someone else's bucket. Be like, you're awesome. You're so cool. The next one I have is taking my vitamins and my greens every single day. Even if those greens don't go down good every single day. I know I talked last week about how I did the pre-workout and I choked on it. Well, my throat was not feeling good when I took my greens afterwards. I was like, ugh, because my throat was so sore. But I took my vitamins and I took my greens, and I make sure to pack them when I travel because that's a form of self-care for me. It's biotin and cranberry, and iron, but that's so important to me, and it helps me, let myself know that I'm taking care of myself. I'm drinking my vegetables and fruit. I am getting the vitamins and the nutrition I need. It's a form of self-care, and I'm literally feeding myself or feeding my, mind, body, soul, all of that. So those are my non-negotiables. The next one, okay, so we have 1, start with the end in mind. Number 2 is attitude is everything. You ever go somewhere or have like a group project or a friend who's always negative and just like a Debbie Downer pulls the entire conversation negative and, isn't fun to be around. And, we can all get negative at times, and it's okay to feel those feelings and be like, I didn't have a good day. But what's not okay is being like such a victim, We, things don't happen to us. We do things to ourselves, Like my anxiety. I could talk about anxiety, I have it happened to me. Or I could say and be honest with myself that I let my habits go downhill. I wasn't focused on myself. I wasn't focused on, growing me as a person, and I wasn't focused on my overall mental health. I did it to myself. And so with that being said, I can change my anxiety and I can move forward with it. And I can say, you know what? I'm going to choose to be happy today, which is totally crazy because when I was in the midst of everything, I was thinking, how the heck am I ever going to move past this? What the heck can I do to stop feeling this way and stop feeling so out of control and just terrible? It absolutely is terrible. And, I was just honest with myself and I said, you know what, Logan, you did this to yourself. As hard as that was for me to realize, I did let some non-negotiables go. I did, let some part of myself go. And so maybe that's you. Maybe it's with something else though. Maybe it's not anxiety. Maybe it's your health. Maybe your health has gone downhill and you could have changed it by one simple thing, like going on a walk or eating healthier, not having all those cookies or cakes or whatever. I just think that we need to be honest with ourselves. And if we can tell ourselves, like, nothing happens to me, I do it to myself. And sure, okay, you know, a person can shove you in front of a bus and you could get hit by a bus and break all your legs. Okay, you didn't do that to yourself, sure. But I'm talking about the other things, like your goals, your actionable, like what you want to do. Like, nothing happens to you. You didn't get the, like, oh my gosh, I didn't get that raise, they hate me. Like, maybe you just weren't up for the job. Maybe you just didn't have enough, which is fine and totally understandable. Sometimes we're just not going to make that cut. Oh my gosh, Rooster, he's freaking yawning like crazy. He's like, dude, that nap wasn't enough. But you know, you just got to be honest with yourself. And that gut check is so important, and it's going to help you move forward and not have such a pity party. It's okay to have pity parties. It's okay to be sad. Maybe you can find in one friend and let them know, hey, like, I'm sad about this. And then let it go. It's so freeing to let it go. Freaking Rooster, he was like, I'm sorry if you can hear him talking to me. He heard someone come in downstairs, so he's like, oh, I want to go downstairs and like chase him, run, whatever. Okay, still, attitude is everything. You gotta focus on the good that each situation will give you. Okay, like right now I could get angry that Rooster is interrupting my podcast, that he wants his butt scratched and that he wants to feel a little bit of love and affection. I could get angry about that. Or I could be grateful that he even wants to be touched and want to be my dog and like want to be with me. So he's talking, but you gotta focus on the good that each situation brings you, because you can decide for yourself. Do you live in a happy place? Are you happy or are you sad? Like, you get to decide that for yourself. Is the world a good place or is it a bad place? Because I believe the world is a good place. And everyone just wants to feel loved and admired and have a sense of purpose and community. The world is good, okay? People are good. We just have to find that good. You gotta be positive. Sometimes you want to be negative. Sometimes you want to cry. Sometimes you want to fight, be mad, yell. Those are all good. But overall, try to be positive. And I know it's hard. The next thing, never speak negativity. Okay? It's super easy. I could be like, all right, I'm gonna get real with you. I've worked out for a month, okay? Like, I made that commitment to myself December. I'm gonna work on myself. I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna do all this. You wanna know what? That scale has not moved. That scale has not moved. It's fluctuated a little bit because I got my period and I, gained a little weight, like that water weight or whatever. But I haven't lost any weight, but I've worked out consistently. And I've been eating pretty healthy. But you know what? That's okay. It's just another brick that I'm stacking up. I'm not going to speak negative. Oh my gosh, Logan, you're never going to lose this weight. No, I am going to lose my weight. I'm going to get down to my prime fighting weight. You guys better watch out. I am going to get there. Never speak negative. Now, this can be hard. It's like etching a new groove in your brain. Oh my gosh, it's so hard. And I find myself, with everything that happened, with my anxiety in June, and I was like repeating over and over in my head about the thing that was like causing me all this trauma and all this issue. I was like, oh my gosh, like this could happen, that's bad, this is terrible, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna get better. But that's all negative thoughts. And even if it's not true right now, I just like to say it. I am at my fighting weight. I am perfect. I'm going to get there. Never speak negative onto yourself or your New Year's resolutions / goals. All right? Because when you start negativity, when you start speaking that out loud, you start believing it. But the same is true. if you're speaking good, positive vibes into yourself and what you want to do, then you're going to start believing it. So even if it's not true right now, it doesn't have to be true right now. But you know what? You're going to tell yourself that it is true. And someone told me this. She told me this a couple weeks ago. And she said that she signs her name every single time. Her name's Alex. She's from Canada. But what she does is she writes down her goals and then she signs her name. So she's like, I've done it. I, Taylor Logan Lee Miller, still waiting on that marriage license, have accomplished XYZ goal by February 1st. Taylor Logan Lee Miller wrote it out, signed it, signed, sealed, delivered. And I just think that's awesome. I started doing it. I started signing my name, putting a statement down and signing my name. It seals the deal. It's just so good. I love that. Okay, so you never want to speak negativity. It's hard. It's absolutely doable though. And I get on to one of my friends. Today we worked out. She kept saying, I hate it here. She's joking. I forget what quote it's from, but it's man, I hate it here. But we're working out. She's like, and I was like, do one more rep. Let's do it. Let's go. And she's like, I hate it here. I'm like, stop. Don't say that. Because if you say, I hate going to the gym, you're going to believe that. You're going to feel that. Instead say, I love going to the gym. I love working on my body. I love doing all these amazing things that are going to make me feel happy and make me feel so great. Because it does. And it is true. And you will feel that. Again, with that, excitement builds excitement. So when you're excited, when you're all hyped up, when you're jacked up and so ready to just go, bring someone along. Because there's going to be times where you do feel negative and you do feel down in the dumps, but having that friend to go, heck yeah, we're going to do this. You got to find that community and you got to bounce off one another, because that is going to be the game changer for you. And excitement builds excitement. So if you're excited and your friend's excited, then you're going to find another friend who's excited. And maybe when you're sad, your two friends are going to be excited and you're going to work on your goals. So always share your New Year's resolutions. I'm going to share some of mine with you as soon as I get done with these bullet points. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm not going to tell you them all. Some surprises. But find that community and find that person that you want to talk to and share these goals with. Okay, the next one. Number 3, stay busy. Now, this is why I don't like New Year's resolutions. Because one goal, you can accomplish it in 22 days, Or maybe it's, I want to lose 5 pounds. I want to cut out sugar. I want to do this. Okay, you did it. Now what? What are you doing? You're going to sit there? Stay busy. Stay doing what you want. That's why when I wrote out my goals, I had 53 goals I want to accomplish this year. You know what? I'm going to try to I won't get into that. I'm going to tell you that later. But, you just want to be busy. You want to, okay, so I'm working on this right now. I'm going to tell you one little goal. Always be available, okay? I have this terrible habit of, I don't reply back to people. Even if it's they say, okay, that sounds great. I'll meet you there at 10. And then I leave it unread. I need to text them back and be like, yeah, can't wait. Just sign that, send it. And so I want to be available to people. But I also want to have my own schedule, and I don't want people to take advantage of my time, because my time is valuable. That's one thing that we can never get back. And so I'm going to be diligent in how I'm spending my time. Whatever you're not, changing, you're choosing. So if you're not changing being fat, you're choosing to be fat. Now, I know that there's some health reasons and sometimes people just can't lose that weight, and I don't mean to be calloused, especially with health problems and all of that. I completely understand. But take anything, for example, I want to read a book every single week. Choose to read the book. Maybe you're not a reader. You say, I'm not a reader. Change it, because you're choosing not to be a reader. I also say that your goals are not going to reach themselves. So you got to stay busy. You got to keep your calendar full. You have to plan. You have to keep a schedule. You got to do it. because they're not going to do themselves. You got to work on them every single day. Stay busy. Stay achieving. Even if you have another job and you want to do a side hustle, stay busy. I love busyness. It's my favorite thing. I enjoy rest, but I also enjoy being busy and staying busy because I feel like my time is meaningful and it's actually accomplishing something. Don't compare your goals with others or get bogged down if things are taking a little bit longer. You got to be honest with yourself. You got to be honest with your timeline. Is this actually doable? Can I accomplish it? I want to stay busy, but I don't want to stack all these things I'm going to accomplish in one day, and it actually needs a week. It actually needs a week to do it. Your goals are not going to reach themselves, okay? Now, I think of this movie, Easy A. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's about a high school girl or whatever. There's some drama. But one of the gals in there, she has a boyfriend. And he's still in high school, even though he should have graduated like 3 years ago. And she said if God wanted him to graduate, he would have given him the answers. And I just gotta stop. I'm like, God gave us free will. We need to kick ourselves in the gear and go. And so don't use that as an excuse. Like, if it's meant to be, it will be. Or like, I'll accomplish this one day, or maybe tomorrow, maybe next year, maybe this, maybe that. No, like, you're gonna choose what you want to do. If you're not changing, you're choosing. And your goals are not going to reach themselves without it. Number 4, don't compare your goals with others or get bogged down if they're taking a little bit with others. I just said this, I'm sorry. Okay, so number 5, because we got done with number 4, is perseverance. Perseverance? Can't ever say that word. Anyways, you want to press on. You want to keep going. You want to have that grit, those guts. You want to just get it done. And so whether or not that is filling your calendar, filling your day schedule, or writing your goals down, or texting that friend and having that communication buddy, just moving forward to accomplish it and get it done. So important. So you got to press on, fill your calendar, find someone to keep you accountable, revisit your goals. I wrote out my New Year's goals, actually the starting of December, and I told myself, what can I accomplish in December? I want to start working on my goals now so that January, I'm 1 month ahead. I can get going even further. But before this episode, I wrote them down again and I revised some. Things that I've already accomplished. What can I build upon that? How can I keep stacking that brick? So revisit your goals. Rework the goals if you have to. Maybe you said that you wanted to do something and you're not quite there. Or maybe you did it. Or maybe you said that you want to start painting and you're going to be a painter and you're going to paint all these wonderful, amazing, beautiful paintings. And then you realize that you hate painting. Revisit your goals. Find a different creative outlet. Maybe that's not, painting. That's so hard. Maybe it's crocheting. Maybe it's knitting. Maybe it's photography. Maybe it's anything else. Revisit, rework. Maybe it's something that you thought that you wanted to do, but now you realize you don't want to do it. And that's not just saying that you're quitting because it's hard. You don't want to quit just because it takes a little time or it's a little hard. It's important that if you want to do it, it's going to be important to you. That didn't make sense. But what I'm trying to say is your goals are what's going to move you forward, and you can't go anywhere without them. Okay? If you just think, one day I want to be skinny, I want to be thin, but don't do anything, you don't have a goal, you don't have any milestones, you're never going to get there. One thing that I like to think about and do is map out your next 5 to 10 years. What do you want to accomplish? I'm currently 22. I'll be 23 in May. And when I am 33, where do I want to be in life? What do I want to be doing? And then I try to accomplish that in 6 months. That's my goal for this 2021. I'm going to think about my 5 to 10 year goal I'm going to try to accomplish as much as I can in 6 months. That might sound crazy. That is crazy. But sometimes we overestimate how much time it's going to take to actually accomplish something. Because in reality, 22 days to start a goal. And I keep repeating that. Maybe it's not the exact 22 days. Maybe it's a little more, maybe it's a little less. But all I know that if you start today, pack everything you can in 6 months, you're going to be a hell of a lot closer than if you were going to say 5 years or 10 years, I'll get there. Because that's those 6 months, work on yourself. Work on the things you want. Right now, TikTok, it's having like a little thing. It's like, I want you to focus on yourself for 6 months. Block everything out. And it's for weight loss, you know. And the people who are doing this right now, it's absolutely crazy how they've worked on their bodies. And maybe it's not your health. Maybe you're thin. Maybe you're beautiful. Already have a 6-pack. I applaud you. Good luck. I'll be meeting you there. But, you know, maybe it's something else. Maybe you want to write a book. You know, in 10 years, I'll be 33. I'll be so advanced in my career. I want to write a book. Write a book today. What's stopping you? And so that is what I'm going to leave with you for the 5. And now I'm going to talk about how I do my goals. So I already told you, I want to accomplish what I want to do in the next 5 to 10 years. I want to see how much I can accomplish in 6 months. To do this, so thinking about that, I wrote down everything I wanted to do, every single thing in the next 10 years. I'm like, what is going to make me happy? What do I want to accomplish? What do I want to do? I wrote them all down in a master list. Huge. Every single thought, I took 10 minutes, just 10 minutes. I was like, writing it down. I did it with a friend. I was like, okay, what can I do? I was like, I am going to like have abs. And then maybe the next one was like, I need to upload a podcast every week, pre-recorded and up by 8 a.m. Or, you know, and they were all random. And as soon as they flung into my head, I wrote them down. And it was this huge master list. There was no organization to this chaos. I was writing it on the side. I was writing it all over. Does not matter how you get it down. Just get it down on paper. Don't leave it in your brain because you'll forget. Write it down. Have it concrete. The next thing I like to do is categorize it in topics, okay? I start with the master list instead of starting with topics because I can feel it gets limiting. Where I'm like, okay, I want to focus on my skin. What can I do for my skin? I want to focus on my health. But like, what about the other things? Like, what about like the other goals I have? So I just write everything down I want to do. That way I'm not limiting. And then I make categories for what I wrote down. That way I'm not limiting myself. So I'm going to share a couple of my topics. The first one was photography, podcast, writing, fitness. I have Golden Hour Drip as a whole. I have my garden. I have Instagram. I have YouTube. And I have money, travel, personal growth, and my overall big vision. Then the next page I have like new rules, what I want to do. And those are like my everyday tasks, kind of like my non-negotiables. Okay, so once I have topics, then I break it down on what is a daily. You know, my new non-negotiables, that's like a daily thing. If I want to be fit, I'm going to have to work out almost every day. If I want to write a book, I'm going to have to write every single day. And so what does your day-to-day schedule look like? What can you accomplish every day? You know, check. You can fill your resolution. You can fill your goal every single day. My goal is to make a bed. Check. I accomplished my goal today. That's awesome. That's awesome. So have those little goals for yourself. Maybe you're daily. Maybe it's a weekly thing. Maybe, okay, let's take my podcast, for instance. I want to pre-record my episodes and I want them to be uploaded at a specific time. Because right now, whenever it gets done, it gets done. I'm just happy I got it done on Monday, right? I'm tired of, that's what I'm choosing. I'm tired of this constant. I want to change it. And I really tried to focus on the areas of my life where I've just become too relaxed and where I've kind of just gone through the motions. And that's kind of where I formatted my goals. And so I want to make sure that I have my episode pre-recorded and it's going to drop 7 a.m. on Mondays. Every single Monday, it's going to drop. 7 a.m. It's going to be there. That's one of my goals. And so that's a weekly thing. Get specific with your goals. Is it going to be a monthly thing? Like, what can you do? How are you going to achieve it? Think about the end in mind. When is your end date? So I like doing that as well. Now, I'm going to share a couple of these, and I don't want you to compare my goals to your goals, because we are different people. We have different things going on in our life. We have different things that we want to accomplish and do, and maybe you don't have all the ambitions that I do, and I absolutely will not have the same ambitions as you, because you are totally an individual, and you have your own mind and your own goals and everything you want to do. So this is just to kind of jumpstart you and get you in the right mind space. Okay. So photography. I love taking photos. I've always liked taking photos. I've taken photos since I was a little girl with the little flat camera that you had to put canisters in, and then get them developed, okay? I started there. I love photography. I love capturing moments. It's so special to me. And so one of my goals for photography is I want to sell my prints of my farm animals. So if I go out and take a photo of my cow, I want to be able to edit it and it would be amazing for someone to have my cow, my photo, in their living room. I just think that's so cool. So that's one of my goals. The next one is writing. I want to get on my blogging grind. I love writing, and I loved it in high school, and I loved it in college. And now that I'm not writing every day, I'm not writing papers, I still want to type my thoughts out. And so I want to write blog posts. I want to write 2 blog posts every single week. Every single week I want to write a blog post. It might be short, it might be long, but I just want to tell you what's going on, and what I think and what I feel. I love that. I just think that's so cool. The next one, let's talk about Instagram. I want to develop a stronger community. And what frustrates me is, okay, if someone comments on your post, it took them time out of their day, reply back to them. I want to reply back to every single comment, and I want to thank them. Replying is a way of saying thank you for liking the photo, for taking time to comment, to have that community. And it's so important because people, the reason that we're put on this earth is, one, to grow, inspire, and change. But another one is to build community and just be with people, and have that fellowship and just meet people and learn what they like. And that's why I like podcasting. I love having guests on here because I get to see what's in their life and what's in their mind. And I just think that's so cool. And then the next one, YouTube. I want to put all my GHD episodes on there. And I know right now they're all geared towards podcasts. So let's get down to something else. Money. Okay. Money. I want to get to a spot in my life where I don't have to worry about money. I don't want to be overly rich. It's not my goal to be rich, but I don't want to have to worry about it. I want to have savings. I want to have 3 or more streams of income. I don't want to just focus on one. And I know with everything, jobs, people getting furloughed, laid off, I don't ever want to be in that situation. I always want to be, writing my own checks and paying my own bills. So that's important to me. The next one, personal growth. I want to meditate. I want to reply within 12 hours. I want to, for under travel, I want to plan 2 big road trips with my husband or my sister, sibling, friend, and then I want to plan 1 big friend's vacation. Just 1 big friend's vacation. It doesn't even have to be that big. It just means all of us coming together. And then my new rules, these are my new non-negotiables. Read at least 2 books a month. Or meal prep on Sundays and Wednesdays. I don't want to meal prep just on Sundays because I don't want to eat the same thing all week. I'm going to start with Sundays and Wednesdays and then work myself, maybe meal prep once a week. We'll see. So I have all my goals. I have everything I want to do, right? I got to figure out how to visualize these goals and actually how to accomplish them. I, of course, have my dailies that I'm going to be doing every single day, but I also like to use planners, iPhone reminders, big whiteboards, sticky notes, crossing out or filling a box. So like if I cross something off my to-do list, I love those. You have to visualize what each goal is going to do for you and your life. Everything is hard. Sitting on the couch, eating potato chips, looking at someone on Instagram living your best life. That's hard. It makes you feel sucky and feel like you haven't accomplished anything. But getting up and getting to work is also hard. But it's going to feel good and it's going to make you feel accomplished. I don't want you to compare with my goals. I just hope that this episode has helped you. Maybe it's motivated you. Maybe it's, getting that kick in the pants. Change your one resolution to more. All I can ask is I hope that this has impacted your life in a positive way. So thank you for listening. Thank you for hopping in and joining on. Please, if you love this episode, if you loved it, or maybe if you have some feedback for me, please leave me a review on the podcast app. I would be ever so grateful. Leave me 5 stars, please. But thank you so much for joining. I love you all so much. And until next time, bye.